It's October 16th, 1909, and the great heavyweight champion, Jack Johnson, defends his title against the Michigan assassin, middleweight champion Stanley Ketchel. It's round 5 of this scheduled heavyweight championship contest, and middleweight champion Stanley Ketchel, to your left, has been surprising everyone. He's not only taking on the most feared heavyweight in the last 20 years, but he's giving an excellent account of himself. Ketchel is giving away 5 inches in height and 41 pounds in weight to the man who's considered to be the greatest heavyweight champion of all time, Jack Johnson. Watch Ketchel throw a haymaker left while Johnson nimbly steps back, avoiding the punch. Johnson is reputed to be the finest defensive fighter in the history of boxing. Ketchel will leap in with a hard left, and Johnson will counter with a jolting right, which nearly floors Ketchel. Johnson is a superb counterpuncher, and Ketchel is learning it the hard way. Stanley Ketchel is only 5 feet 8 inches tall, but he's stated many times that there's no man in the world he feels he can beat, regardless of size. As Ketchel charges in, once again missing a left, Johnson rushes forward with a smashing left to the body. Johnson has every conceivable physical advantage over the challenger, and it's beginning to pay off. At the end of round 5, Johnson has a clear advantage over the middleweight champion of the world, Stanley Ketchel. In round 6 through 11, Johnson's clever defense kept Ketchel missing badly. Watch closely as Ketchel lands a tremendous right to the jaw and floors Johnson. The champion will take a count of 7 and then get to his feet. As Ketchel moves in to finish the job, Johnson will land a blistering right hand to the jaw, knocking Ketchel cold. Johnson trips over the fallen Ketchel and then tries to dislodge 2 of Ketchel's teeth embedded in his right-hand glove. Jack Johnson successfully defends his heavyweight championship.
Yeah, see him brush the teeth off his glove.
October 16th,
He literally knocked his teeth out.
In Colma, California.
The first $1 million gate in boxing history. At Boyle's 30 Acres, Jersey City, New Jersey, July 2nd, 1921. Scheduled for 15 rounds for the heavyweight championship of the world. Champion Jack Dempsey, challenger George Carpentier. Dempsey the bigger of the two and the heavier. Dempsey 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing 188 pounds. Carpentier 5'11 and a half, weighing 172. The attendance was 90,000, and the receipt $1,789,238. The attendance was the greatest crowd ever assembled for a boxing match, and the largest crowd ever assembled in America for any sporting event. Jack Dempsey advancing on George Carpentier, or Carpentier, if you prefer the French pronunciation. This was the first World Championship bout ever broadcast over the radio. Major Andrew White was at the microphone. The referee is Harry Ertl. Remarkable close-up films of the battle of the century, pitting the savage fighting tiger Dempsey against the popular European heavyweight champion Carpentier in the greatest international prize fight since the Heenan-Sayers affair held way back in 1860. Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Mauler, 26 years of age. George Carpentier, 27 years old. Carpentier managed by Francois Descamps. Dempsey managed by Jack Kearns. This is the fateful 4th round. Carpentier almost went through the ropes trying to get away from Dempsey. Again, he ducks away, does Carpentier. Dempsey is wearing down Carpentier. Dempsey stolidly advancing. Ferocious. Terribly strong. Carpentier now beginning to show signs of weariness. That terrific body attack by Dempsey is beginning to take effect. Ripping right hands by Carpentier, but Dempsey is not slowed. Another ripping right hand, grazing Dempsey's chin. Dempsey keeps coming on. Carpentier trying to hold Dempsey. And finally, they're separated. And down goes Carpentier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's up just in time. And Dempsey goes after him, and down he is again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's trying to get up. 8, 9, 10, and out. And Jack Dempsey remains heavyweight champion of the world.
It's September 14th, 1923, and heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey takes on the knockout-punching Luis Angel Firpo from Argentina. Dempsey in white trunks is making the 5th defense of his heavyweight title. Dempsey comes out raging here in round 1 and floors the challenger for the first of 7 knockdowns. Firpo takes a count of 9 before rising to meet the furious Dempsey and is scored a second time by a smashing right. Firpo rises and scores a flash 1-count knockdown. Dempsey is on him immediately as Firpo goes to the canvas. Dempsey scoring heavily, never letting up. Again, Firpo is sent to the canvas. In 1923, there was no boxing rule which prevented the man scoring a knockdown from standing right over the fallen fighter. And as a result, the moment Firpo gets to his feet, Dempsey is all over the challenger, smothering him with hard punches to the body and head. Firpo shows great courage, getting up again and again, only to face the relentless champion's attack. Firpo strikes back with tremendous lefts and rights, staying on the attack. He scores with murderous punches. He scores with a hard right to the head and another right to the shoulder, and Dempsey is knocked out of the ring for 8 seconds. It appears as though the tables have turned, as now the champion is in desperate trouble. Climbing back into the ring, he tries to stave off the determined challenger. Firpo moves in with punishing lefts and rights to the head. Dempsey is groggy, but the round is over. In round 2, Dempsey comes out to end the fight immediately. With a left to the body and a tremendous right to the jaw, the champion floors the challenger in the early moments of the round. As the courageous challenger takes the full count of 10, a sudden ending comes to one of the most spectacular fights in boxing history. Firpo is unable to get to his feet, and the great Jack Dempsey retains his heavyweight championship in a furious fight at the Polo Grounds in 1923, and you saw it on Knockout.
Gene Tunney, the retired, undefeated light heavyweight champion, meets Georges Carpentier, the Orchid Man of France, in a 15-round international heavyweight bout. We're in round 1. Gene Tunney on the left. Tremendous world interest in this fight. Over 30,000 fans here tonight. Many international diplomats, celebrities, and famous people at ringside. This fight is a crossroads for both men. Tonight's winner, either Tunney or Carpentier, will meet Dempsey for the world's heavyweight title. Gene Tunney is only 26 years old, 4 years younger than Carpentier. Tunney's had 46 bouts, lost only one on points to the fabulous Harry Greb. But Tunney reversed that by beating Greb in a return bout. The end of round one. In the 8th and 9th rounds, the pace continues fast without either man showing signs of tiring. Now round 10. First knockdown. It's Carpentier. Tunney used a beautiful left hook, right uppercut combination, perfectly timed. Carpentier took a 7 count. Carpentier didn't take a count on that second knockdown. He may be out on his feet. Wonderful courage. Wonderful fighting heart, that Carpentier. Tunney's trying to wrap this fight up right now. He's not boxing now. He's trying to put Carpentier away for keeps. In the 11th, 12th, and 13th rounds, Carpentier makes a great comeback and outscores Tunney. Now the 14th round of this international heavyweight fight between Gene Tunney and George Carpentier. Polo Grounds, New York, July 24th, 1924. Carpentier's hurt. He's down. The bell ends the round. Tunney threw a hard smash to the body just as Carpentier started to leap into the air. Carpentier claims a foul. His manager and seconds are yelling foul. The referee insists the punch was fair. It was a blow to the stomach just above the belt. Tunney says the blow is fair. Down 15. Tunney's the winner. Carpentier's manager and handlers are still claiming a foul. There's pandemonium at ringside. Most of the newspaper men say the punch was fair. The referee refuses the claim of foul. Tunney has left the ring, and Gene Tunney is the winner by a knockout in the 15th round.
On June 5th, 1925, Tom Gibbons, brilliant heavyweight boxer, takes on the fast-rising young Marine, Gene Tunney. We're looking at Gene 2 weeks before the fight. Here's seen running in the center while flanked on both sides by 2 of his sparring mates. Tunney has been running 15 miles a day and is in great physical condition for this big test. Gene has been absolutely tireless in his training routine. He says that he feels he could go 30 rounds without letting up for an instant. Never was there a fighter more ready for a supreme effort. As round 1 gets underway, Gene doesn't waste any time, using that left hand like a rapier. Gibbons is going to have to pursue his younger opponent. He knows that it's going to take an accurate head and body attack to slow down the brilliant boxing ex-Marine. Gibbons has certainly got his work cut out for him, as he's a 34-year-old veteran compared to the 27-year-old Gene Tunney, who is considered to be in the very prime of his great career. Gibbons turned professional in 1911 and has had 106 professional fights in the past 14 years, winning 104 and losing only 2. This is one of the most fantastic records in the history of boxing. Tom has fought 3 no-decision contests with the great Harry Greb. During that period of time, the only way a fighter could win was by the knockout route. If both fighters were standing on their feet at the end of 10 rounds, there was no decision rendered. But after those 3 fights with Harry Greb, newspapermen were unable to agree whether Greb or Gibbons had won on points. That's how close they were. Round 1 draws to a close with Tunney getting the edge on his relentlessly accurate jab.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's Jim Jacobs doing the commentary on this one, who actually owns all these fights. He had the biggest fight collection in the world until he died.
Complete command over the aging veteran Tom Gibbons. Gene is showing the strength and confidence which has carried him to 76 victories in 77 professional prize fights. It's all Tunney now. Jabs, hooks, straight right hands. Gibbons is reeling under the constant pressure. Gene steps in and lands a tremendous right-hand punch to the jaw, flooring Gibbons for the first time in his professional career. The referee's count reaches 8. Tunney moves in quickly and lands 2 smashing right hands to the head, which put Gibbons down for the second time. Tunney goes to a neutral corner as the referee moves in to toll the final 10. As Gibbons gets to his feet, Tunney moves in to console and congratulate his dejected opponent. 15 months later, this same Gene Tunney will become the 8th heavyweight champion of the world by dethroning the great Manasseh Moeller, Jack Dempsey. Gene will later retire undefeated and go down in boxing history as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
It's July 21st, 1927, and future heavyweight champion Jack Sharkey meets a bitter ring rival in Sailor Jim Maloney. As we pick up the action in round 4, we see Jack Sharkey fighting with his back to the camera. The fight has been a nip-and-tuck battle between 2 of the era's hardest punchers. This is the 4th bout between these 2 men. Maloney, to the left of your screen, won the first, but Sharkey came on to take the next 2. Although all 3 bouts were veritable wars, they were all decision contests. Sharkey at this time was considered one of the brightest lights among the young heavyweight hopefuls, and there's been talk that if he wins tonight, he'll be matched with Jack Dempsey in an elimination contest to see who will get a crack at Gene Tunney's title. Maloney picks up the pace and forces Sharkey toward the ropes. Referee Lou Magnolia separates the 2 fighters. Knockout continues the action at the beginning of the 5th round. With 2 sluggers in there throwing bombs, anything can happen. Sharkey, nicknamed the Boston Gob, will go on to win the heavyweight championship 5 years after this fight by gaining a controversial decision over Max Schmeling. Sharkey lands an overhand right that floors Maloney, but the gutsy fighter jumps right up again and takes after Sharkey. The Boston Gob lands 2 more haymaker rights, once again that drop Maloney to the canvas. Maloney tries desperately to reach his feet, but falls all over himself because of the effect of those dynamite punches. He's out cold, a clean knockout. Jack Sharkey demonstrates dynamite punching power as he KOs rival Jim Maloney and earns himself a bout only 2 months later with the great Jack Dempsey. 1927, and the Manasseh Moeller Jack Dempsey meets the colorful Boston Gob Jack Sharkey. Knockout picks up the 1st round, and we see Dempsey to the left of your screen advancing on the younger Sharkey, only to be met with hard punches. Dempsey was staggered by that combination. He's trying to hold on, but the referee separates the fighters, showing the stuff of which great champions are made. Dempsey shakes off Sharkey's best punches. Jack Sharkey, now with his back to the camera, got this match with Dempsey to decide which of the 2 would fight heavyweight champion Gene Tunney. By the 7th round, Sharkey shows his future championship form by taking a solid lead over Dempsey. That's Dempsey to the left of your screen in the striped trunks, giving Sharkey a real going over at close quarters. Look at the ex-champion work away at Sharkey's midsection. Sharkey turns to the referee to protest, and Dempsey lands a left hook that floors the younger man. Sharkey is writhing on the canvas in obvious pain. The referee continues to shout the count. 8, 9, 10, that's it. Jack Sharkey is assisted to his feet by Dempsey, but let's look at that controversial knockout again in slow motion. Watch Dempsey get in those body blows. Now Sharkey turns to the referee, and Dempsey lands that left. Sharkey comes down on his face.
These guys would be best friends for the rest of their lives. Sharkey and Dempsey, they were great friends, and I think that's great.
Official's 7th round knockout over Jack Sharkey.
This is Jim Stevenson taking you back to September 24th, 1935. New York's Yankee Stadium. Maxie Baer, former heavyweight champion, meets Joe Louis, the young, sensational Brown Bomber, in a scheduled 15-round bout. Here we are in round 1. Baer with a star on his trunks. He's taller and bigger than Louis. Baer is 210 pounds tonight. Louis is 198. The big question tonight is, can Baer's powerful right hand stop the Brown Bomber? For weeks, the entire sports world has been arguing about it. Baer's fans are confident. He knocked out the giant Primo Carnera, and he also knocked out Max Schmeling. They figure his experience is too much for Louis. Joe Louis is confident, too. He's got a very impressive record. In his short career of 14 months, he's fought 24 times as a pro, and he's won them all, 19 by knockout, and most of those within 5 rounds. Yankee Stadium jammed to the rafters tonight. 84,000 fans, and a gate of over $1 million. The first $1 million gate since the famous Dempsey-Tunney long count battle in Chicago 8 years before. Everyone's stunned by the fury of Louis's attack. The bell, and it saves Maxie from a knockout. Back in just a moment. You can never tell what's on Louis's mind from the expression on his face. It's like a mask. Bears down. That last hard right to the jaw did it. Up at the count of 9. Three lightning left hooks to the jaw. The bell saves Maxie for the second time. The first left hook is quickly followed by a second. Before Baer can even get his hands up, Louis slams 2 shots home in just the flash of a moment. Now round 4 coming up. This young Brown Bomber is not only a terrific hitter, but he's also showing us some great boxing tonight. That boy's got everything. Lewis doesn't waste many punches. Very few miss the target, and every punch hurts. Even his jab. Jim Braddock, the heavyweight champion, is here at ringside tonight. He's watching Lewis very, very closely. That backhanding. The referee warns Bear about it. Just look at the power in Lewis's left jab. It snaps Bear's head back every time it lands. The first knockdown was a right to the jaw, the second from the left, and this one another right. This Lewis packs dynamite in both hands. Before the fight, Lewis said he'd knock Bear out in 7 rounds. It's taken him less than 4. The referee picks up the count from the official timekeeper across the ring. And that's it, it's all over.
What a fighter Joe Louis was. One of my favourites and one of the greatest of all time. Probably number 2 in the top 10 behind Ali.
2 minutes, 5th, 4th round, winner is Lewis.
Joe Louis defeats former champion Max Bear in less than 12 minutes of fighting. The Bomber's 25th straight victory.
1938. Joe Louis defends his World Heavyweight Championship against former title holder Max Schmeling, the only man who has ever defeated the champion. Here are the fighters signing for their epic rematch just 2 months ago.
America versus Germany.
I'm going to be in the best of shape, and I'm sure they're going to be a very good fight. I'm happy that I have the chance again to fight for the title. And I hope the best man may win.
The stage is set for their historic rematch. Let's go back 2 years ago to the first meeting of these two fighters. During the first 3 rounds, neither man got into serious trouble. Here in round 4, it's still anybody's fight. A ripping right by Max Schmeling. Lewis is in trouble. Another dynamite right. Lewis goes down. The referee, Arthur Donovan, signals Max to go to a neutral corner. Joe's up on his feet, but it's all Max here in round 4. Max kept pouring it on for the next 8 rounds, and Joe was in trouble throughout. Joe is still on his feet here in the 12th round, but Max is all over the Brown Bomber. A ripping right to the jaw by Max Schmeling. Crushing punches by Max. Joe is in desperate trouble here in the 12th. A dynamite right, and Lewis goes down. Max Schmeling puts a temporary halt to the meteoric rise of the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. Just 1 year later, Joe will win the heavyweight championship from James J. Braddock with an impressive 8th round knockout. Max Schmeling is interviewed on his arrival to the United States just 2 months ago. Max is very confident he can whip Joe once again and recapture that cherished heavyweight championship.
Max, you expect to knock Lewis out?
Well, after all, I didn't come over for fun.
How about a feed box tip? What round are you going to knock him out in?
Well, you come over, see the fight,
People think that I'm going to the ring gun shy. Why should I go into the ring gun shy when Schmeling is 2 years older and I'm 2 years smarter in boxing?
The entire world is waiting for the result of this enormously publicized heavyweight championship fight. We're moments away from the opening bell. Joe Louis, heavyweight champion of the world, comes out for round one in the dark trunks with the white stripe. Max Schmeling is wearing the all-dark trunks. Since winning the world heavyweight title, Joe has defended it 3 times. In his last defense of the title 10 months ago, Joe KO'd Harry Thomas in the 5th round. Max Schmeling won the heavyweight championship of the world in June of 1930, 8 years ago, from Jack Sharkey. Max was awarded the fight on a foul when he was hit low by a blow thrown by Sharkey. Schmeling lost a close, tough 15-round decision to Sharkey and lost the world heavyweight title 2 years later. Max is attempting to become the first former heavyweight champion ever to regain the precious title. 6 other champions have tried and failed. Champion Joe Louis wants this victory desperately. Joe is deadly serious in there. An explosive right to the jaw hurts Max Schmeling. Joe Louis all over Max Schmeling here in round 1. Ripping punches to the head. Joe steps back. A dynamite right to the jaw, and Schmeling goes down here in the 1st round. Max is up at the count of 2. Louis moves in. Ripping punches by the Brown Bomber send Schmeling down again. A crushing right explodes off Schmeling's jaw, and Max goes down for the 3rd time. It doesn't look like Schmeling's going to make it. It's all over. Joe Louis electrifies the boxing world with this magnificent 1st round devastating knockout over Max Schmeling. In slow motion, let's watch those 3 knockdowns once again. Joe misses with a right and then follows through with a jolting right to the jaw. Max is hurt as he holds on to the ropes. A ripping right to the side by Joe Louis. It's all Joe now. The Brown Bomber raining punches off Max Schmeling's jaw. Max starts to sink to the canvas. Joe wants to finish it here in round 1. An explosive right sends Schmeling to the canvas for the 1st time. Max rolls over and is up at the count of 2. Another right to the jaw, and Schmeling is in desperate trouble. Max goes down for the 2nd time. Now it's Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber, at his dynamite best. A right to the body. Another jolting right, and Max goes down for the 3rd and last time. It's all over. A magnificent knockout for the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis.
2 minutes, 4 seconds, 1st round. Referee stops it. The winner and still champion, Joe Louis.
For 10 more electrifying years, the Brown Bomber's explosive fist will devastate challengers as quickly as they can climb to the top of the heavyweight ladder. The Brown Bomber's dynamite punches will thrill audiences and scramble all opposition for a record 25 world heavyweight title defenses. Joe Louis becomes a legend in his own time, adored by fight fans throughout the world, respected and feared by all heavyweight challengers, and eventually, after his retirement, revered in boxing's Hall of Fame as the greatest heavyweight champion of all time.
At New York's Polo Grounds, heavyweight champion Joe Louis, in his 18th defense of his title, meets Billy Conn before a crowd of 50,000.
Back then, I mean, that's still bigger than most of fights today. It's like stadium size, 50,000. Back then, a lot.
It will always be a question in the minds of those who saw the fight. Would Khan have won if he had been more careful in the 13th round? Here's what Khan says.
It's a great fight tonight. I know that Uncle Mike's going to give me another chance, and I know I can win it. I guess I had too much to win for tonight, and I tried to knock him out. Otherwise, I'd have won easy.
It's January 9th, 1942. Joe Louis makes the 20th defense of his heavyweight crown against Giant Buddy Bear in New York City. Champion Louis is in the all-dark trunks. Challenger Buddy Bear has the stripe on his trunks. This is the second meeting of these two men. Bear attempted to lift the Brown Bombers' crown 1 year ago, but was stopped in 7 rounds. Good punches by the challenger. The referee separates the two men. Joe Louis looking for an opening. A jolting combination, and 6'6" Buddy Bear crashes to the floor. Bear is up at the count of 8, and the referee wipes his glove. Pulverizing right sends Bear down again. Bear listens to the count. Joe Louis moves in to finish it. Louis all over Buddy Bear here in round 1. And Bear goes down again. The referee sends Louis to a neutral corner and picks up the count. Bear tries to rise, but rolls over in the canvas. It's all over. Joe Louis stops Buddy Bear in the first round and successfully defends his heavyweight crown. Heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Louis, defends his title against Big Abe Simon in Madison Square Garden. Louis is wearing the all-dark trunks. Simon has the stripes on his trunks. This is the Brown Bombers' 21st defense of the heavyweight crown. He won 5 years ago by knocking out Jimmy Braddock. This is the second meeting of Louis and Simon. The champion stopped Simon in the 13th round in Detroit 1 year ago. A murderous right explodes off Simon's jaw. Louis raining punches from all angles. And Simon goes down. The bell ends the round, and a dazed Abe Simon returns to his corner. In rounds 3 and 4, Louis continued to land punishing blows. It's a testament to Simon's courage that he's still on his feet here in round 5. Simon trying to work on the inside. The referee breaks the two men. Louis looking for an opening to put Simon away. This is the champion's second fight this year. The Brown Bomber KO'd Buddy Bear in the opening round 2 months ago. Simon trying to keep Louis at bay with that left jab. Louis lands 4 crushing blows that render Simon helpless. A right hand explodes off Simon's jaw, and he crashes to the canvas here in round 5. The bell saves Simon from a knockout. Louis comes out for round 6, ready to end it. A jolting right hand sends Simon down again. Louis moves into a neutral corner as the referee picks up the count. Although Simon wants to continue, it's all over. Joe Louis successfully defends his heavyweight crown with a 6th-round knockout of courageous Abe Simon. Heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Louis, makes the 25th defense of his title against Jersey Joe Walcott in New York City. The Brown Bomber, Joe Louis, is in the dark trunks.
I think it's
Jersey
this
Joe
fight
Walcott wears white.
one of the greatest punches ever thrown, I think.
Louis misses with the left, and Jersey Joe lands a jolting right to Louis's jaw, sending him to the canvas here in round 3. Louis is up immediately.
And I don't mean that one.
This is Walcott's second shot at the title. 6 months ago, the two went 15 sizzling rounds, with Louis winning a split decision. Walcott at 34 would be one of the oldest fighters to win the heavyweight crown if he succeeds tonight. Here in the 11th round, it's still very close. Jersey Joe is exhibiting some fancy footwork in there as Lewis patiently waits for an opening. But Walcott must be careful. Lewis carries dynamite in both fists.
Definitely
His
move,
ring record
Jersey Joe.
speaks for itself. 20 of his 24 title defenses have ended in knockouts. Walcott gets hit with a jolting right hand. Walcott breaks away, but the Brown Bomber has him in trouble. A devastating barrage of punches, and Jersey Joe drops to the canvas.
Jesus Christ.
The referee picks up the count. Jersey Joe tries to clear his head after that avalanche of leather. He staggers to his feet, but too late. Joe Louis retains the World Heavyweight crown with an 11th round bombing of Dame Jersey Joe Walcott. It's October 14th, 1949, and heavyweight champion Ezzard Charles defends his title against hard-punching Pat Valentino. For 6 rounds, both fighters have fought well, and it remains a very close battle here in round 7. Ezzard Charles in black trunks is a classic boxer puncher, able to handle any style opponent. But Pat Valentino in white trunks is a worthy adversary. Make a careless move, and Pat can take you out with one shot to the jaw. Nine weeks ago, Ezzard successfully defended his World Heavyweight Championship against Gus Lesnovich and is now springing right back into action. Ezzard Charles won the heavyweight championship just 4 months ago when he beat Jersey Joe Walcott in an elimination bout. Caution has been set aside now as both men bomb with little thought to the fence. They both want to win big. Charles wants to prove he's a legitimate champion, and Valentino is getting the biggest chance of his career. It's now or never for Pat. Charles maneuvers Valentino, looking for an opening. Charles fires a beautiful straight right to Valentino's jaw. In slow motion, here's that perfect punch, which has done the job so often for Charles. Valentino hits the deck, and the referee rushes in to pick up the count. But it's all over for Valentino. He can't make it. Ezzard Charles wins a big victory in defense of his World Heavyweight title as he KOs Pat Valentino. It's January 12th, 1951. Heavyweight champion of the world, Ezzard Charles, defends his title against Lee Oma in New York City. Lee Oma comes out for round 10. Ezzard Charles moves out wearing white trunks. During the first 9 rounds, the champion was the aggressor and is ahead in the scoring here in round 10. Charles won the World Crown 2 years ago with a 15-round decision over Jersey Joe Walcott. Just last year, Ezzard outpointed the great Joe Louis to establish himself as a true world champion. Today's fight is Charles' 6th defense of the title. Ezzard consistently presses the action. There's no let-up in Charles' blistering attack. In slow motion, we see the magnificent Ezzard Charles at his boxing best. Charles continues to throw bombs in there while the challenger vainly attempts to fight back. Charles in complete control here in round 10. Ezzard Charles exhibiting his magnificent two-handed attack. Lee Oma tries to hold. But the referee breaks them.
Why they're playing it in slow motion, I don't know.
A jolting left hook and quick left sends Oma staggering. The referee rushes in to stop the fight, preventing Lee Oma from receiving further punishment. champion Ezzard Charles successfully defends his heavyweight crown with a 10th round knockout of Lee Omo. May 15th, 1953, heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Marciano, makes the first defense of his title against the man he took it from, former champion Jersey Joe Walcott. Champion Marciano is in white trunks, Jersey Joe Walcott in dark. Marciano won the world title 8 months ago with an electrifying 13th round knockout of Walcott in Philadelphia. Tonight's fight is the first for both men since their title encounter. The referee separates the two men. Rocky Marciano in marvelous condition, always pressing forward, forcing the action. A big left hook and the challenger dances away. Walcott at 39 is giving away 10 years to the younger champion. Marciano looking for an opening. Walcott is being extremely careful in there. Frank Sikora breaks the two men. A sizzling left-right combination drops Walcott here in the opening round. The referee picks up the count as Walcott tries to rise. The referee says it's all over, but Walcott believes he beat the count. From another camera, here's that action once again. Walcott goes down from that paralyzing combination. Walcott is dazed, but listens to the numbers. At the count of 10, Walcott is still on the floor, and Frank Sikora correctly says it's all over. The Brockton blockbuster Rocky Marciano retains his heavyweight title with a shocking first-round knockout of former champion Jersey Joe Walcott. Rocky Marciano makes the second defense of his title against New York's Roland LaStarza. As Knockout picks up the action in round 11, New York City fans are thinking that the fight will be a repeat of the first contest between these two men, when Marciano, in the white trunks, won a tough decision over the durable LaStarza. So far, the fight has been extremely close, with LaStarza winning the early rounds on his boxing ability, and Marciano coming on strong as the bout has progressed. Rocky likes to work on his man close to the ropes, where his short reach is an advantage in the infighting. Much of his ring strategy is to work LaStarza toward the strands. Marciano gets LaStarza cornered, and the two men mix it up in a short, furious exchange. LaStarza dances away, but Rocky stays right after him. Roland LaStarza had won 37 professional fights in a row when he lost to Marciano in their first bout, and he still has a brilliant 54-3 one-loss record. Marciano lands one of his patented blockbusters. LaStarza's hurt. LaStarza goes sailing through the rope. This is the first time he's ever been knocked down in his career. He's up with the count of 5, but the mandatory 8-count rule is in effect. Marciano moves in again, throwing that dangerous leather from all angles. LaStarza gets belted with another jackhammer right. He's almost completely helpless. The referee jumps in and stops the fight. Rocky Marciano wins his 45th straight fight with his 40th knockout, the highest KO average in the entire history of boxing.
Marciano comes out of his corner a determined young man on this third defense of his title. Ezzard Charles, of course, is trying to do two things tonight that have not been accomplished by anyone so far: to beat the yet undefeated Marciano and to win back the heavyweight crown, something many great champions have tried. Notice Charles in white, the superior boxer, maneuver for short, jolting rights to the head. An excellent ringside view, showing Rocky in his crouch. Those were short, choppy rights to the head that later opened a cut over Rocky's eye. No doubt about that round. Judges Artie Idella and Harold Barnes, as well as referee Ruby Goldstein, were unanimous in scoring it for Charles. Round 6 sees Marciano, goaded by that cut over his left eye, pressing more than ever before. In the previous round, some of his rights landed pretty hard. He just keeps boring in. They don't call him the strong boy for nothing. Charles trying to keep his tormentor off balance by pushing him back out of the clinches. Every now and then, Rocky is accurate with an uppercut. Charles in trouble from solid smashes to the head. Giving ground reluctantly. Slippery target. Tries to move into the shoulder of Rocky's chest. Izzard Charles, a dead game fighter tonight, weathered the storm. Through the 7th and 8th rounds, Charles handed out as much as he took, but now we're more than halfway through the fight, and the tireless Marciano has again taken command. He's been swinging wildly a lot of the time, but he's battered Charles and hurt him when he landed. Superb close-ups, you can see the damage each has been handing out. Swollen faces, cut eyes. That's proof it's been a very grueling fight. Welts on both cheekbones of Charles, and now his face is really puffed up. champion out of his corner for the final round. Both men are tired, but they touch gloves. From the 10th round on, it's been going in Marciano's favor, and he's definitely the stronger fighter now. First time in 15 rounds, Charles's back touched the ropes. Indication he's rapidly running out of gas. There's the bell, and a great championship fight is over. A fight that showed both men in there giving it all they had to the final second. 15 rounds of battling for the most coveted title of the ring. The decision is up to the officials, of course, but let's listen with the 50,000 fans in Yankee Stadium to Johnny Adams.
Winner by unanimous decision, and still the heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Marciano.
It's September 17th, 1954. Heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Marciano, defends his crown against Ezzard Charles in Yankee Stadium. Here in round two, Rocky Marciano in Doc Trunks has begun to press the attack. Both men fighting in close. A barrage of blistering punches, and Charles drops to the canvas. The challenger rises quickly. The referee wipes his gloves, and the fight continues. Marciano moves in, raining punches from every angle. Charles trying his best to defend against this magnificent fighting machine, Rocky Marciano, the Brockton blockbuster. The challenger hung on in rounds 3 through 7. Here in round 8, it's all Rocky. A blistering right sends Charles crashing to the canvas. This is Charles' second attempt to win the title from Rocky. 3 months ago, Marciano was given a unanimous decision after 15 grueling rounds. Marciano landing jolting punches. A final devastating combination, and Charles drops to the canvas one more time. The referee picks up the count. Gamely, Charles rises, but he hasn't beaten the count. It's all over. In slow motion, here is that knockout again. Charles hit with the first right, keeps low. Another right grazes his face, then a left. And finally, right-left combination. Ezzard Charles in no shape to continue. Rocky Marciano, the Brockton blockbuster, successfully defends his World Heavyweight Championship with an 8th round knockout of Ezzard Charles in Yankee Stadium. It's May 16th, 1955. Heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Marciano, makes the 5th defense of his title against Englishman Don Cockle.
Out they come, 15 rounds to go for the World Heavyweight Championship. Both fighters feel each other out, much as you'd expect any strangers to do. Cockle shows surprising agility for so heavy a man. He comes out of clinches with a little dance step, moving up and down, circling his man, jabbing, trying to draw leads. One of Rocky's best punches is a left hook, and Don has his right glove held high to protect against it. This round sees another blasting onslaught by Marciano. But Don, unbelievably, stands up through it all. For almost a full minute, you'll see him wide open, Marciano going after him with everything he can throw. Now starts the heaviest barrage of the fight. But Don's display of courage is one of the greatest ever seen in the ring. Rights to the head, one after another, all damaging blows. Ninth round, and Don is still on his feet, but his knees are beginning to sag. Don, unable to defend himself, goes down again. Now he's on his feet, glancing wildly at his corner. He doesn't seem to know where he is when referee Frank Brown stops the fight. The time is 54 seconds of the ninth round, a bitter disappointment for the British boxer. But there was never a man who showed more of the tenacity of the English bulldog breed. By a technical knockout, Rocky Marciano is the winner and still the heavyweight champion of the world.
Floyd Patterson and Ingemar Johansson meet for the heavyweight championship for the third time. And knockout starts one of the most thrill-packed first rounds in heavyweight history. The Swede Johansson, facing the camera, starts quickly by landing a right cross over Patterson's shaft. Floyd's down. Patterson is up on the count of 4, but the mandatory 8-count rule is in effect. Johansson moves in again, but Floyd holds on. Patterson, KO'd by Ingemar in their first bout, became the first man to regain the heavyweight title when he turned the tables on the Swede in their return contest. This third bout is expected to settle matters between the two. The action is fast and furious. Johansson shoots another right, and Patterson is down for the second time. Miami Beach fight fans are wondering if this will be a repeat of the first fight when Patterson was knocked down 7 times. Floyd is backed against the ropes, but lashes out with a left hook that floors Johansson. And with that last knockdown, this is only the second time that both the champion and challenger were both floored in the first round. It last occurred when Dempsey fought Luis Firpo in 1923. In round 6, Patterson is coming on. 2 clubbing rights, and Johansson is down. He slumps to the canvas at the count of 6. He didn't beat the count. It's all over. Floyd Patterson successfully defends his title against Ingemar Johansson. Joe Frazier takes on the hard-hitting Eddie Machen in Los Angeles. Frazier in green trunks, Machen in white. Here in round 1, Machen has taken some of the best punches Smokin' Joe can dish out, and he's hanging in there. The courageous Machen is always looking to get in that one big upset punch to turn the tide. But the tide turns the other way. Frazier, with his back to the camera, sends in a short left hook, and Machen goes through the ropes. Machen is stunned. He scrambles back into the ring and beats the count. Signals he's all right, and the round ends. Rounds 2 through 8 saw Machen continue to weaken under the hammer fists of Joe Frazier. Frazier working to the body and chin. Frazier has been nicknamed Smokin' Joe as a result of his relentless punching style. Joe Frazier has won all 12 of his professional fights, 11 by KO. Eddie Machen is a veteran with over 30 KOs to his credit. Perhaps one of Eddie's great moments in the ring was a close loss to the devastating power of Sonny Liston when Liston was at his crushing best. Frazier stays on target, hitting a tired Eddie Machen from all angles. Here in the 10th and final round, Joe Frazier still looking for that one punch to end it all. Machen, a very tired campaigner. The referee steps in and stops the fight, awarding a KO to Smokin' Joe Frazier, who continues his upward climb to the heavyweight championship of the world.
Muhammad Ali is defending his title against the WBA heavyweight title holder, Ernie Terrell.
It's February 6, 1967. Muhammad Ali makes the 8th defense of his world heavyweight title against WBA title holder Ernie Terrell. Ali is wearing the trunks with the red stripe. Terrell has the trunks with black stripe. Terrell has knockout power in either hand. The fleet-footed Ali has to be at his sharpshooting best. Muhammad Ali taunting Terrell here in round 2. Terrell, like Ali, had a fine amateur record. Ernie won the 1957 Golden Gloves light heavyweight title. Terrell at 28 is 3 years older than the champion. This is the champion's first fight this year. In his last fight 3 months ago, Ali scored a third-round knockout over Cleveland Big Cat Williams in the same ring. Ernie Terrell won the WBA heavyweight title in 1965 with a hard-fought 15-round decision over rough, tough Eddie Machen in Chicago. Ali all over Ernie Terrell here at the end of round 2. Muhammad Ali bombing Terrell from all angles here in round 15. In rounds 3 through 14, Ali built up a commanding lead, and here in the final round is way ahead in the scoring. Ali's trainer, Angelo Dundee, has said that his fighter is the fastest punching heavyweight he has ever seen. Ernie Terrell having trouble getting set against the swift-footed Ali. Muhammad always moving, always jabbing, never remaining still for a moment, never a target for his opponent. There's the bell ending the fight. Muhammad Ali is awarded a unanimous 15-round decision over WBA title holder Ernie Terrell and retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Terrell was a game challenger, but Ali was just too fast, too sharp for Ernie. Muhammad Ali holds on to his coveted heavyweight title. Up-and-coming heavyweight prospect Joe Frazier takes on Canada's heavyweight king, George Chuvalo. Here in round 3, Frazier in blue trunks is having his hands full with the experienced Canadian. Frazier loves to fight in close where his explosive left hooks can do the most damage. Frazier has been nicknamed Smokin' Joe for the relentless way in which he throws his punches. Both fighters looking for an opening here in round 3. Frazier is undefeated as a professional, winning all 16 of his fights, 14 by knockout. Frazier beginning to go to work on tough George Chuvalo here in round 3. Frazier climaxed a fine amateur career by winning the 1964 Olympic heavyweight title 3 years before. Frazier putting a lot of pressure on George Chuvalo late in the round. George has a bad cut over his left eye, and the referee will be watching it closely. Frazier comes out for round 4, looking to finish it. A left hook opens the cut above Chuvalo's eye, and the referee wisely stops the fight. Smokin' Joe Frazier records another knockout in his quest for the heavyweight championship. It's August 31st, 1973. Heavyweight champion George Foreman meets the first challenge to his title, Puerto Rican heavyweight Jose Roman in Tokyo, Japan. Foreman in red, Roman in black. George Foreman is undefeated in 37 pro bouts, ending 35 of them by KOs, including his bout against Joe Frazier last January, who he floored 6 times as he took the heavyweight title. This is Jose Roman's 50th pro bout as he comes off a win over the rugged Terry Daniels. Roman on the defense. Foreman is strong and quick, and as you will see, a workman-like professional. Roman goes down from a flurry of punches by Foreman, and in the heat of battle, Foreman hits Roman while he's down. Roman's handlers complain to the referee, but the referee waves them off. Foreman with a short right hand puts Roman down. Foreman, in a no-nonsense mood, pours it on, hitting Roman from all angles. A right uppercut, and Roman goes down. The referee yells out the count, but Jose Roman of Puerto Rico is counted out in the first round. It looks like George Foreman is going to be world heavyweight champion for a long time to come, as no one seems to be able to extend this dynamite puncher. George Foreman successfully defends his heavyweight championship in Tokyo, Japan.
Here in round 3, Norton in blue is after Ali as he was in their first fight, throwing punches from every angle. Norton bombing Muhammad Ali. Kenny pouring it on. Ali holds on desperately. There's Drew Bundini Brown, Ali's close friend and trainer. Ali's coming back here in round 3. Both men are pulling out all the stops. They want this one badly. Norton putting on tremendous pressure. In rounds 4 through 8, Norton continued to pursue Ali all over the ring, with Ali countering beautifully with perfect timing. Both men take turns, sting the other. It's still very close here in the 9th round. Ali is sharpshooting, picking his spots, and then lashing out with sharp punches. Norton gets in some solid shots of his own. Nothing seems to discourage Muhammad Ali. Both men keep throwing bombs. It's been a torrid pace. Ali with blistering punches. There's the end of the round. Round 10 was Ali's by a close margin. Here in the 11th, both Ali and Norton are shooting the works. Searing punches shot out by both men. What a sensational fight. Norton ripping in body shots. The men touch gloves for the 12th and final round of this truly sensational rematch. Ali boxing smartly. A beautiful combination by Muhammad Ali. Now definitely the stronger of the two. He sends in ripping combinations. Norton isn't giving up. He's fought a magnificent fight, but it seems that Ali has the momentum. No one thought Ali could get into such brilliant condition to go 12 rounds at this breakneck pace. It's a big Ali round. Tying up Ken Norton. There's the final bell ending this great rematch. Muhammad Ali wins the decision and evens the score against Ken Norton, who made a sensational showing and almost won.
March 26, 1974, heavyweight champion of the world George Foreman defends his title against the #1 contender Ken Norton in Caracas, Venezuela. George Foreman in red trunks won round one on aggressive punching. Here in round two, George continues to press the attack. Norton in blue trunks is getting this title fight as a result of his brilliant 12-round decision over former champion Muhammad Ali last year. George Foreman in red won the heavyweight championship of the world with a crushing second-round knockout over Joe Frazier 1 year ago. Foreman's only fight since becoming heavyweight champ took place 6 months ago when he KO'd Joe Roman in the first round. Foreman teeing off. 3 right hands send Norton crashing into the ropes. The referee gives Norton a mandatory 8 count. A short, ripping right sends Norton back again. The referee momentarily halts the action, sees that Norton is okay, and signals the fighters to continue. A barrage of punches and thunderous left hooks send Norton crashing to the canvas. Norton in desperate...
One thing is for sure, George Foreman fucking bangs, man. He could hit.
It doesn't look like Norton is going to make it. It's all over. George Foreman retains the heavyweight championship of the world.
Okay guys, that's I think that's the last one on this. So thanks for watching. Jab the like button, hook the subscription button, and share and leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Cheers.